All right, welcome back everybody. Today we are doing a update on VRA. We're going to be doing some chart analysis, some price predictions, and then a little bit of fundamental news, as well as a roadmap update for 2022. So let's dive right in. First of all, obviously, if you've been following the markets, we kind of came off of this all-time high back in October, and we've fallen, close to 80% since then. Given the kind of unsteadiness and wobbliness of Ethereum and Bitcoin over that period of time, it is okay considering that context. We've seen a similar drop over here as well. So, in terms of actually coming down to this support, the world is not over, as many people, maybe would have thought. So, the other thing I wanted to note here is the solidity of this support right here. That's between the 1.8 cent and 1.5 cent marker. That's been a super strong support for Verasity in the past. As you can see here, here, and here, we're kind of tapping it as we go, and that's really strong. Obviously, if we came below here and broke right down and came back to something down here, this support or even this support, the long-term bullish structure of that chart, kind of loses its structure, right? You no longer have kind of this bullish uptrend coming into the long term. So that's definitely a positive sign there. But the next thing I want to get into is the kind of similarity of what happened back in June and then what is happening right now. So right now up for you guys, I have the 100-day moving average and 200-day moving average. As you can see back here, when we kind of consolidated for this 2 to 3 month period, this chart actually fell below the 200-day right here, or sorry, the 100-day for about 78 days, 80 days, and then below the 200-day moving average for about 42 days, so around half as long. And right now what we're doing is we're kind of developing the same pattern. So right now we've been below the 200-day for roughly 100 days, so definitely more than last time. But in terms of how turbulent Bitcoin's been, almost to be expected. And then in terms of how long we've been below the 200-day, about 73 days. So definitely something to keep into account. We haven't been that far below in Veracity's history, even though it's a new coin. Definitely something to keep your eye out on. The other similarity is just how similar the RSIs are playing. So we've seen before, this play between 50 and 30 right back here during this consolidation phase. And then, again, here we're playing between 50 and 30 in this same consolidation phase, right? So a couple of similarities to point out there. And the other thing I would note is that, both periods of consolidation, this period of consolidation obviously was followed with that, aggressive move to the upside. Will say that there is a caveat this time. We have the war in Ukraine. We have, some macro uncertainty, and with that, always comes uncertainty in the market as well. But, kind of going off of our analysis from the previous fractal, let's kind of talk about where we could be headed. So really quick, let's say that, we essentially copy this movement to that all-time high. And let's say we kind of copy this fractal, bring ourselves over here like this. So this needs to be a little higher here, like that. And so this is obviously, if we were to repeat, the same exact fractal from this last consolidation period, I will say that I think that this looks accurate in terms of the fact that there will likely be additional consolidation given the uncertainty in the macro space. And as that continues, as inflation continues to be an issue and concern amongst investors, we're going to see some more uncertainty, some more volatility and consolidation. So definitely keep your eye out for that. Based on this fractal repeating, whether or not you think this is realistic, this fractal would have us, just at about 9 cents in the last week of August if we were to repeat what we did back here in July through October. So if we were going to be doing that again, that'd be a 9-cent end of August. But again, with everything going on, it's really hard to tell what will be happening. I think, in terms of short term, definitely expect some more consolidation, more sideways movement. As you can see, right now, and I'll delete this just to give us a little bit more focus area here. But as you can see, ever since, this period of consolidation over the last few months, you can see we're playing within a tight window, and even a little bit more short term, it's even tighter, more so like this, right? And so what I foresee is, movement within these areas, at least for the foreseeable future, right? So, we could stand on top of a few fibs here. We could come back down. It really depends on, what's going to be happening macro. And like I said, until we know more, it's likely sideways movement. But this is really strong. I'll wrap up by saying that in terms of the chart analysis, this is really strong in terms of the way it's been able to hold up, even in what some were calling a bear market. With Bitcoin and Ethereum doing so bad. It is, very encouraging to see that it's holding up this long-term bullish structure. So enough on the chart analysis. Just to recap on that price prediction, if we were to repeat the fractal identically, which, likely doesn't always happen, but there's usually some sort of variation of repeating fractals, right? So based on that, we would see, 9 cents, somewhere around late August, early September. So just bear with that in mind and take that with a grain of salt, but that's based on the fractal. So let's hop into some recent news. Really exciting. They recently got listed on crypto.com. This brings a ton more volume into VRA trading, as well as the fact that people are now able to buy the true cost of VRA with USD, Euro, and obviously the British pound. So this brings more accessibility, more volume into, the ecosystem of Verasity, right? Because right now, or before this, a lot of people need to use ETH or Bitcoin to trade into VRA. So this kind of opens up the door there. And in terms of additional news, just something to note that Verasity passed 250,000 Twitter followers recently. Just something to mark down. It's a big milestone, especially for such a small cap coin. And they do a great job of kind of fostering this, brand affinity and this identity for Verasity across a bunch of different social media platforms. So definitely exciting to note. And finally, I just want to kind of roughly look over their roadmap coming here this year. So in the early part of 2022, we're going to see some major updates to proof of view. So a lot of people, this is kind of what they're waiting on Verasity to see how this actually works for clients, because this is kind of their secret sauce, right? It's the proof of view patent. It's the way to identify falsifiable ads, false clicks, false views, and that is apparently $160 billion fraudulent industry where ads are actually hacked, and people are getting views and they're not really views. So if they do crack this code, it is big time. And so that's why everyone's kind of watching this. So in Q1, they're going to have the admin panel set up for their Brightcove partners. That includes a few hundred to over 1,000 potential clients for Verasity right off the bat. And so they're going to be enabled on proof of view in Q2 of 2022. So that is March to June. You're going to be watching for proof of view for Brightcove customers to be activated. And I think you're going to see a lot of speculation and a lot of attention on this, because that's really what people are wanting to see from Verasity. So as we move down the roadmap, we're going to see a lot of revamping. So, revamping VRA Wallet. We're going to see a revamp of the single sign-on process. But we're also going to see more functionality added to their new marketplace. And that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to follow. We see a lot of different tokens and a lot of different projects coming out with NFT marketplaces like Trius, even MTV's getting in there as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So it's a big year for Verasity. Mainly, like I said, people are really focusing on the proof of view. Does it work? Can it work efficiently? Can it work consistently for customers? And does it mitigate that additional ad spend, right? So that's kind of what people are looking for. And that about sums up the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to cover any other specific projects. Really appreciate the time, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.